day. That was a Hollywood Studios day. Oh, 1900 Park Faire.
1900 Park Faire. That's right. We rode the monorail to the Grand Floridian.
Yeah, so the monorail was actually working.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a common theme throughout this trip.
Yeah, because it was down quite a bit while we were there.
It was. So, but we got on the monorail and went over to the Grand Floridian for the breakfast at 1900 Park Faire. We've normally done the dinner, but this was our first time doing the breakfast, and it was really, really good.
Yeah,
and the characters, there's some, there are a couple of characters there that you don't see out very often.
Like Mary Poppins.
Mad Hatter. Mad Hatter is one you definitely don't see a whole lot.
Out often. Alice from Alice in Wonderland was there, and also you had Tigger and Pooh.
Mm-hmm. But the food is really good.
Yes.
And
service is good. Food's good.
And we actually after that, Alice was actually outside doing pictures out as you were
behind the scene. In front of the scene that they have there.
Yeah, as you're leaving.
I'll say we've been to 1900 Park Faire a number of times, both now for breakfast and lunch, or dinner, and I have not had a bad experience there. 1900 Park Faire is a great place to go. It is a buffet, as many of the character meals are. Mm-hmm. But if you go to the lunch or dinner, you get
there's no lunch there. But after that, we actually walked out because we walked out into the lobby because they have the huge gingerbread house there. If you have not ever seen the gingerbread house, definitely go. If you're there for the holidays, definitely go. But definitely go, if you're there during the holidays, go and check out the huge gingerbread house that they make at the Grand Floridian.
And make sure you try to find all the hidden Mickeys. Yes,
sir. How many hidden Mickeys is there?
I think I remember them saying 18.
Like 18 hidden Mickeys.
Yeah.
I think we found like 5 or 6.
Yeah, they're you can find them, but they're pretty well incorporated.
Yes. Like I said, we went back to Hollywood Studios. The only reason we really went back to Hollywood Studios because there's not a lot to do. There were a few loose ends we wanted to tie up. We still didn't get to do everything we wanted to on this trip.
No.
But we did the first meeting with Kylo Ren that we had the first day that we were there. Was at the exclusive Visa Disney card holder member meet and greet. But the regular meet and greet at Launch Bay, Kylo kind of redeemed himself a little bit because he sensed greatness in Josie.
Yes, he did.
And he tried to recruit her and wanted
to be his apprentice.
To be his apprentice and teach her the ways of the Force. So he may have killed my boo, but he's got great taste in students.
Yes, he does.
So I have to give it to you, Kylo. So we did a few things. I think that's the day we did the Great Movie Ride.
We did the Great Movie Ride.
And they changed the little scene. It was different. It's now, instead of the gangster hijacking
it's
the
now
car,
a Western.
the cowboy hijacks the car.
Yeah.
I thought it was really weird. I was like...
It just threw us off.
I was like, is that...
It was cool, but it threw us off.
Yeah.
And they had the saloon catch on fire. And
yeah, I was like...
Or was it a bank? It was the bank.
It was the bank. I was just like, is this different?
Yeah, it was different. It was cool, but it was different.
Yeah. So we went to lunch that day, actually, there at Mama Melrose. I had eaten there a few years ago, but, I didn't, have that much of a memory of it. But this time, that place is good.
I'm going to say this because, I know we weren't as high on Viennapoli. But let me tell you something. Mama Melrose, that place was fantastic.
It was
good. The food was good. The service was good.
I actually had spaghetti, the spaghetti with meatballs. That tomato or marinara sauce was so good. It tasted fresh, like you could taste fresh tomatoes.
Josie had the pizza. and she
destroyed it.
Destroyed the pizza. Now, I'm not saying destroyed as in like she noshed it. She ate the entire thing.
Yes.
And the
we had the caprese salad.
The caprese salad was good, and this actually had the parm that had the really good texture. It was better than the.
You had chicken parm, yeah.
Well, no, I'm talking about the caprese salad, the cheese.
Yeah. Oh, the mozzarella cheese.
It had a really good texture. It was really good. It was better than the caprese salad at Viennapoli.
Yes.
No, I didn't have. I had the pork.
That's right.
I
had pork.
I had the pork shank.
That's right.
And I was like, I didn't have chicken parm, but the pork shank was freaking fall off the bone, and it was awesome. And it was over a pallet of mashed potatoes, and oh my gosh, it was good.
And Mama Melrose is a definite.
Yeah, go to that place. It's over by the Muppets 3D on the back.
Yeah.
As you come out of Muppets 3D, it's in that little back alley area.
And I will say that there's not as many sit down restaurants at Hollywood Studios as there are at Magic Kingdom or Epcot. But
the ones that are there,
the quality of all of them, including Sci-Fi, all of them.
Sci-Fi Diner Theater's good. 50s Primetime Gavet, we have love for that place. The Brown Derby
is really good, yes.
And Mama Melrose, I think Mama Melrose it may even be better than Viennapoli.
Oh,
I'm sorry, Toto Italia. It may even be better than Toto Italia.
We need to do a Toto Italia again.
I mean, that place, if you have a chance to go to Mama Melrose, go to Mama Melrose, because that place was really good. You will not be disappointed. It's not... You don't go in and you don't feel like you I can't dirty the tablecloth. But it's not one of those places that seems like white tablecloth really fancy. But the food is fantastic, and the service is good.
The service is great.
Oh my gosh, go to Mama Melrose.
Go to Mama Melrose, yes.
Lodge.
Okay, so we left early because we had reservations at another old favorite. Which is over at the Wilderness Lodge, and it is...
Whispering Canyon Cafe. Hello, Senor Dusty Trails.
Yes, so I get there, and if you've seen some of my other past videos where I've talked about our love for the Whispering Canyon Cafe, I have talked about the very first waiter that I ever had on my very first trip to Walt Disney World. My very first sit-down meal was at Whispering Canyon Cafe, and our waiter was Senor Dusty Trails, or Sergio.
Yeah.
And we wound up having him on our
on our honeymoon?
On our honeymoon trip. So with Josie, I was just like, I wonder if he's still there. So we
Dude's
went.
Been there for 15 years.
Actually 16, as we found out later. As it turns out, he is still there, and we requested a table with him. And
we got it.
Just like old friends, man. We were,
Yeah, he had 16 tables.
He had 16 tables. It was very busy in that day.
But he still made time for us.
He still made time for us, and, we talked to him, and I told him that he was my very first waiter on my very first trip at my very first restaurant at Walt Disney World.
He just sat down and like, hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
He was chilling with us.
Yeah, and he was like, you may have been one of my very first tables, because I started waiting. I've been working here 16 years, and it was about a year in was when I started waiting. He had been like a
runner or something like that.
Or whatever. It was a really cool story. My very first trip, our wedding trip, and then we brought Josie to see
meet Senor Dusty Trails.
And
we told him last time we were here we didn't have her.
Yeah. So the food we had there, we got the all you can eat skillet.
The skillet, man, that's good.
Oh my
It's got a little bit of everything on it.
God.
Yeah. It's family style. It brings out the skillet. It's got more than enough food. It's got brisket. It's got barbecue. It's got mashed potatoes. It's got vegetables. It's just
so good.
And the cornbread.
It was so good.
I'm just gonna put it out there. I gained 10 pounds on this trip, even though we were walking.
I gained 12.
Even though we were walking 10 miles a day, I gained 10 pounds on this trip.
I gained 12.
Luckily, I lost it all.
We've lost it all. I think there's a lot of sodium in the Disney food.
Man, the food was good.
Oh my God, it was so good. And oh my God, then we get he gave we were so stuffed we could not have our dessert. He boxed it up.
He boxed up the chocolate cake. Yeah.
He boxed up the chocolate cake
for us, and we took it back to the room.
That's if you go to Whispering Canyon, ask for Senor Dusty Trails.
He's awesome.
He's amazing.
He'll take care of you.
We had originally planned on doing that. I had made it early enough so that we could, because there was extra magic hours until like 1:00 over at Magic Kingdom.
Which we didn't do.
do.
Josie was done. We were done. We went back to the hotel and we crashed.